What's going on, you guys? My name's Ty Knotts, and welcome to Top 5 Unknowns, 5 paranormal Netflix documentaries. Number 5. This chilling series first aired in Canada in January of 2015, known as Paranormal Survivor. As a fan base began to grow and the show attracted more attention, the first 2 seasons were added to Netflix. The premieres of the show is to give paranormal witnesses and victims a stage to share their experiences. The show's format follows a documentary style. Guests are interviewed and they tell their stories. Reenactment scenes supplement the already moving stories. The Netflix description for the title reads, "In interviews and reenactments, ordinary people live their terrifying encounters with unwelcomed guests beyond the world of the living," which is an accurate representation of the show's key points. Genuine witnesses retell their most horrifying experiences with the paranormal in a manner that forces them to be emotionally thrown back in time when it all occurred. In each 45 to 60-minute episode, victims recount difficult feelings and trauma, which you can see clearly expressed on screen through sadness, anger, and shock. Most episodes retell at least 2 stories, but often more. So if you're not a fan of long drawn-out stories, this series takes the best of the most haunting experiences and makes them enjoyable to watch. The description from Season 1, Episode 2 reads, "A troubled friend brings a malevolent spirit into a woman's home. A man and his son have an unwanted roommate, and a young boy invites a ghost in." It should be mentioned that the reenactment scenes in this series are very well executed. The acting for these scenes are also impressive, and the real-life interview and documentary side of each story gives the viewer a constant reminder that the unnerving things being watched actually happened to these survivors. Both seasons are available now on Netflix and have 10 episodes each, making this a perfect watch for binge viewers. According to IMDb, the overall series rating is a 6.3 out of 10. Luckily, when considering the rating of each episode, that number is much higher though. Every episode in the first 2 seasons surpasses the 7-star rating, and many of them received 8 or 9 stars. The biggest downfall of this series is clearly the lack of newer seasons to watch. Number 4. Killer Legends is a unique 2014 documentary that dives into the history of 4 terrifying urban legends to unveil their truth. Along the way, researchers, writers, and stars Rachel Mills and Joshua Zeman discover the unexpected truth that these urban legends derived from their true heinous crimes. The 1-hour, 24-minute film investigates 4 infamous and urban legends: the Candyman, the Babysitter, the Man Upstairs, the Hookman, and Killer Clowns. The Candyman legend tells that a serial killer living in Houston, Texas during the 70s passed out tainted candy to children on Halloween night. The Babysitter involves a man upstairs originating in the 1960s in Missouri. He claims that a young teenage girl was babysitting for her neighbors one night when she began receiving calls from an anonymous man instructing her to check the children. In some variants of the story, the babysitter is slaughtered, and in others, police arrive and inform her the calls were coming from inside the house, where the stalker was already working on the children upstairs. 2 teenage lovers parked late at night on the side of a road are assaulted by a man with a hook, according to the Hookman legend. Hookman began in the late 1950s in Texarkana, Texas. Killer clowns have allegedly been spotted all over the country beginning in the 1980s. Supposed witness reports claim that these clowns pop up every few years and engage in odd behavior. Some describe horrifying clowns standing on the dark roadside in the middle of the night to taunt sleepy drivers. Others testify that they've seen groups of these clowns in unmarked vans attempting to kidnap children. Each of these legends have paranormal components that will still scare much of the general public today. In Killer Legends, Rachel and Joshua learn all about the fictional side of these cases in an effort to unveil the real-world truths. Although the team is somewhat debunking these cases, the journey there is still unsettling and interesting to watch, and the actual cases that started it all will give you a shiver that you may not have expected. Number 3. The Netflix original series, Haunted, was published in October of 2018. The description provided by Netflix reads, "Real people sit down with friends and family to share terrifying true stories from their past, recreated through chilling reenactments." At first, the series seems like any other paranormal documentary show. However, the concept of witnesses talking with groups of people they know, opposed to being interviewed by a team of producers, gives the story a stronger sense of reality. Guests are more comfortable discussing traumatic events with people they're familiar with, so the stories are less likely to become inaccurate or jumbled. Created by the producers of The Purge and Lore, this series dives into real-life events concerning many aspects of the paranormal. The description of Season 1, Episode 3 reads, "A young girl is convinced that a dark evil dwells in her grandmother's basement, where a twisted family member once dabbled in the occult." For Episode 6, it reads, "A once protective spirit becomes possessive when the young girl who inherited his tombstone meets and marries the love of her life." As victims reflect on their scary, strange, and downright traumatic experiences, they explain the ways in which they are still haunted. Everyday life, even years after a paranormal encounter, can become more difficult for some, especially for those that were possessed or tormented by poltergeists. Thanks to the creative production team and a friendly Netflix budget, reenactment scenes for Haunted are impressive all on their own. Scenes make great use of special effects, and there's a talented cast to create a final product that's not only entertaining but also convincing. When watching reenactment scenes, the viewer is easily pulled into the story and may even fall victim to a few good jump scares. Once again, though, the reenactment scenes in a series like this are only meant to be supplemental, as the true horror lives in the emotional retellings of these encounters. In fact, due to how eerie some of the stories are, Netflix viewers have turned to the internet in search of some sort of proof that the series is fake. So far, the creators and their guests have stuck to their claim, saying that everything that you see really happened. Netflix currently only has one season available, and it's unclear if more content will follow. Number 2. If the title to this documentary doesn't instantly spike your interest, maybe you're not a true horror fan. Malachi Martin was an Irish Catholic priest who devoted his life to writing about the Catholic Church. One of Martin's most popular books was Hostage to the Devil, published in 1976. The novel discusses Satanism, demonic possession, and exorcism. The content of the novel was based on Martin's own experiences dealing with paranormal matters. Martin claimed to have assisted and performed exorcisms in his time with the church. NBC Radio referred to the book as one of the most stirring on the contemporary scene. Martin continued a strong relationship with his work in the Catholic Church and religious side of things. However, he also became very well known and cherished in the paranormal community. Eventually, he was released from his vows by the Catholic Church due to allegations of adultery. After being released, Martin founded a group known as the Underground Exorcists. The Catholic Church had no idea of this ongoing group and were shocked to discover it. It was worrisome to church members and the public that such a devoted priest would go against the church to meddle with dark forces. Furthermore, in Catholic religion, it's believed that demons and paranormal entities respond to a voice of authority, which Martin was not. Both from a religious and medical standpoint, what Martin did was controversial and dangerous. In 2016, this documentary explored the history of Father Martin, the scandals and allegations, the apparent underground exorcism group, and the things Martin claimed to have witnessed when performing exorcisms. Martin's personal friends, priests, paranormal investigators, historians, and literary professionals come together in this 90-minute film to explore the deeper issues of Father Martin's work. Viewer response is split between seeing Father Martin as a true source of evil in the story and admiring him for his bravery and determination to defeat evil and expose the truth. If you're not much of a history fan, don't worry. The film includes a cinematic plot to spark your interest and keep you watching. The eerie scenes are a refreshing supplement to the commentary. Number 1. Most Haunted is a paranormal investigative reality show and is perhaps one of the most popular of its kind. Most Haunted first aired on British TV in May of 2002, and surprisingly, it's still going strong. The format of this show is similar to ghost hunting shows. The group of paranormal investigators visit terrifying, haunted locations all over the world. After learning a bit about the history behind each location and the paranormal encounter claims, the group sets up an intricate camera and equipment system and locks themselves inside the area for at least 24 hours, but sometimes more. The more uniqueness of this series lies in the evidence collected. Although some things that the team deems to be proof of ghostly presences are often criticized, the members of Most Haunted have collected more evidence than any other paranormal investigative series. Additionally, Most Haunted began years before most of the other popular shows in this genre, paving the way for many of the series that we have today. As of 2019, the show has been running for 17 years, and its fan base has yet to decrease. Some refer to the team's reactions as cheesy and melodramatic, but those reactions are really what draw the viewer in. The team makes it believable that they're genuinely moved by what's occurring, be it real or not. Most Haunted has been on the air for 21 seasons now, a tremendous amount for any reality show, especially a paranormal one. Unfortunately, Netflix only has about 15 seasons available to stream, but each episode runs about 45 minutes, so you can binge to your heart's desire. Plus, the content is chilling and well executed, so you'll probably be too scared to watch more anyway. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked this video, be sure to click that like button. Also, don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell to keep updated with our videos.